guys, this is Kris.
This is Colin from Creator.
And we are back to review your creations.
Yeah.
We're trying out a new format. We're back and we're doing, what are we doing again?
Yeah, this is Dark Ages.
Yes.
This is the Dark Ages theme, so as Kris mentioned, we're still exploring this new format. It seems like based off of your replies, it is working better. You guys are able to see the builds better. It's easier for us, so overall we're pretty happy with what we're doing. But yeah, we're just gonna
jump right into it. So before we get started, we just want to let you guys know, if you like any of these builds, in the comment section below, let us know which one you guys think and what you guys like about that build. We just want to get more people like talking about each other's builds. And of course, if you like any of these builds, give it a thumbs up.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely subscribe down to the YouTube channel. Also, if it's your build and we misrepresent it in any way, just correct us in the comments.
Yeah.
Like, we want to see more comments. We want everyone to reply to our questions or our theories so that we can know what is and isn't correct. So
sounds good. Now let's jump into it.
Now we can jump in. Okay. So, starting with number 1, this is
Aiden, 17th from Strathmore, Alberta. This is Aiden and Hudson did a team up together to build Return to Port. Now, there's a lot to unpack on this one. There's so many details. Let's just, I'll try to give it a big outlook. So the way you guys see it, we're looking at a castle as well as a port side to it. Now, there's a bunch of boats, at least 2. There's a fisherman market on the left side there, as well as another fish market right in the center where the docks are. But there's a lot of detail on this one. Like, I can't even begin to go through everything, but hopefully these photos, they did a great job illustrating which one is which. And I mean, like, as far as detail goes, let's start with the water. You got algae, you got an alligator, you have a net in the boat. So these guys really thought about all the level of detailing. And you know what I didn't even notice? Some of the techniques are super illegal, but it's working. You just saw that, right? But man, see, like, we took a look at this already and we talked about it, and there's just so many things to unpack. Like, there's backpacks, minifig backpacks that are just sitting on the side filled with stuff. There's just so many things to take apart and like look at. There's robbers with a golden item or artifact in the back that they could have just stolen. So in terms of story, there is a level of story there as well. So very impressive, really cool in terms of execution. Hudson and Aiden, both of you guys did a fantastic job, and Colin and I were super impressed. So next one, jumping into the next one, we got Aiden.
This is Aiden as well, just with an EN instead of an AN. And just because there is a lot of detail in some of these, just pause the video if you guys want to see more detail. It just makes it easier because we can't sit on them for too long. But we have Aiden H15 USA, the Raven's Final Flight. And at first you might not understand what that means, but as we look closer into this build, you can see that there is a raven that has been skewered through with an arrow. So you can imagine that this would be in an old, again, like the Dark Ages, you have to go hunt, or maybe kind of like Game of Thrones, where they use ravens as messengers.
That's a good idea.
And so a lot of times, especially if you've read the books, they talk about shooting down ravens, and that way they intercept messages. So maybe that's something as well. And it's cool what he utilized for the arrow itself. It looks like it's a whip.
It is a whip.
He used the whip. So the whip is laying in the scene, but he used the ending piece, I guess, to signify the actual piercing. So actually, what is the whip used for? Is it a separate piece, or does it come through?
He stretched it.
Yeah.
So he basically, like, it looks like it's clipped onto the side, and then he just kind of wrapped it around the bird.
Interesting. Very interesting utilization. I guess he didn't have an arrow or anything to represent it, so he used what he had, which is super cool. Otherwise, a really great build in terms of like the foliage in the background. We've got mushrooms, we've got different colored trees. Looks like this might be in the fall time. Also cool that he took it outside to take some photos, so there's some nice backdrop for it, so it feels like it fits right into the scenery. It's actually really cool how well it fits in with the scenery. There's some 1x1 dots studs, just uses water.
This is dragon mouth.
Oh yeah, there is a dragon mouth there.
It's upside down or something.
Yeah, utilizing it just for green foliage, just to give some shape to the scenery. Really smart building. Overall, again, pause the video, look into it in a little bit more detail. But really nice scene. There's an owl up top.
Oh, didn't even notice that. Yeah, this one has so many details. I want to talk so many.
We can't talk about it, so we gotta go.
Okay, so next one is Alex, age 17. This one is called The Rescue. And basically it's a knight in shining armor with some, I think those are pirates or some scallywags.
Ooh.
Or no, bandits. I mean, are they bandits or like ruffians?
Yeah, I mean they're definitely some sort of
bandits.
Yeah,
something
they got
like
pirate.
that.
They got pirate logos.
Yeah,
maybe.
And then
blunderbusses.
Blunderbusses, exactly. So he used a bridge, and as well as it looks like lava underneath there. It looks like it's orange and red trans orange pieces that he used, but he used skeleton legs as a railing just to illustrate that menacing layer look. And of course our damsel in distress, her face, her emotion, she is totally in panic. I mean, can you imagine hanging for hours waiting for your knight to show up? Like that must not be a good feeling. Very. I mean, but he illustrated it very well. Like, look at the way he put together the sticks. It wasn't put, you can tell that there's a lot of character to this layer. And these guys were like, no, we mean business. They don't care. It's full of lava and they're miserable. So they just want to, I don't know why they kidnap damsels, to be honest with you. Ransom. There you go. Anyways, next build we got
Alexander, age 8, from Calgary. My guarded castle. So he says my, so I like when people say my because you like to think that Alexander himself is in the build, or the builder themselves is in the build, which is fun. So he did a large landscape scene. Has 3 different main sections. We have a farmer's field on the left. We have the water and bridge, perhaps it's a moat, in the middle, as well as the actual castle's land on the right. Looks like there's some story in here as well. Again, we're assuming that the boat has some sort of bandits or some bad guys coming to the castle. They're armed, they have their weapons from what appears to be the Minecraft world. There's also a Minecraft sheep in there, which is kind of fun. But the castle build overall is actually really cool. A lot of detail in it, especially for the age of the builder itself. The castle it's not just super one-dimensional. There's a lot of little interesting sloped pieces and pieces with holes in them just to give it some cool dimension. It almost feels like a micro scale build for the castle itself.
True.
But it's on minifig scale because they're on the top. But everything in the middle feels micro scale to me. Maybe it is, and then just on the top they just use like minifig scale just to represent so they can put the figs on there. But that's also a really cool building technique. Really great build. Again, lots of story that you can kind of dive into just looking at all the minifigs that are in here. So definitely take a pause and look in a little bit more detail. We just don't have as much time to. But yeah, it looks really cool. It looks like it's a pretty strong castle, probably going to be defended quite well. A lot of guards outside, a lot of high walls, so these bandits or these bad guys are going to have a bad time for sure trying to get in there.
Impenetrable.
Yeah.
All right. Next one, another Alexander, age 10, USA, small and mighty. So we're gonna have to, how do we zoom into this? What?
Apologies.
Oh, sorry. Sorry guys, we're just gonna zoom into this. These photos are a little too small. So we got Gimli and an orc high with looks like a dragon shield, and it looks like it's a small fortress that, well, it's heavily guarded. It looks like it's, let's see what, oh, and he also took a photo of it in a setting outside. So it looks like it's in a rocky, desolate area. Obviously it's guarded by an orc, so it's probably not in the most pleasant places, like maybe Mordor.
Yeah, potentially.
Desolation. But yeah, let's take a look and see what's inside. Oh, you got a lot of weapons, and as well as fire. Of course, Uruk-hais love fire. Maybe, actually no, this is definitely what's happening is Gimli is attacking. Oh, maybe Small and Mighty is Gimli attacking the fortress.
Maybe it's a play on both. He's small and mighty, and the fortress is also small and mighty.
Alex, there's so many layers to this, not bad. Good build, overall solid. I don't think we've had you before, I'm not sure. Hopefully, you can keep coming back, but thank you for your build. Colin, who do we have next?
Next is Andrew, age 17, from the USA. This is called the Tavern, which makes sense. It's a small and relatively simplistic vignette, but it's done very well. So they used a lot of really great smooth pieces to frame the vignette in that very classic, they'll make 2 walls, leave 2 walls open, 2 wooden windows giving a lot of character to the olden times. There is a bucket or a barrel of ale. She used a tap piece as an actual tap.
Nice.
Which is interesting. We have like a centaur flute player, and the fireplace, as the next picture just showed, actually lights up, which is really cool, gives it a lot of scene and feel to it. I actually really love vignettes. I love the simplicity. I love being able to convey something in a very small amount of space. And then this last picture here shows just the build itself. So we have some wooden tables, goblets. There's a barrel with what looks like weaponry. And Kris just pointed out something really cool. Is like the table or the bench, whatever it was that was used here. He used a piece that diagonally slopes in, tapers in, to show that it's broken.
That's an actual broken Lego piece.
Really?
Yeah. Brown pieces, a little bit of a fun fact, brown pieces are notorious for breaking.
Really?
Yeah. So the fact that he used a broken Lego piece to illustrate broken table.
Okay, so it's an actual smooth 1x6 plate, and then it just broke off?
Yeah.
Really?
Brown pieces are terrible. They're so brittle.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just the color combination or the chemical composition of it? Interesting. Andrew, verify. Please, verify down below if that's the case. That's really cool. Either way, it's awesome to see the level of detail with a broken piece. Hey,
that's a good way to use it.
Even a broken piece is still useful.
That's true.
I love the build, thank you. Some pictures of the minifigs.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, next one, we got Benjamin, age 12, from Ontario, the Jousting Dragon. So let's unpack this. We got a dragon using, he's definitely using, what's that, a brick separator as a tail.
Yeah.
It looks like a tournament is taking place because the jousters are doing that. So maybe the dragon wants to take part, but it's not a horse. So what do you do when a dragon wants to take part in a jousting? They're gonna lose. Don't dragons eat horses?
I was gonna say, it looks like he's just gonna eat the horse.
I know, like, maybe, well, and based on this scene, they don't know what's happening. Like,
this guy who just got jousted, basically, he's looking up. He might be the first one to see it.
Exactly, he's like, oh yeah, he's probably, he's like, yeah, I gotta get out of here afterwards. But, no, in terms of levels of detail, like, if you guys look at the top right corner, there's hay bales that the horses are eating. It's good. It's a very simple, straightforward build. In terms of jousting, you have the fence, you have the jousters, you have the audience, and of course, last but not least, you have that menacing dragon that's just hovering above. Oh, never mind, a farmer saw. Oh yeah, he's gonna make it. He's like, does he have time to warn everybody?
Not sure.
Look at his face, he's so scared. He's like, oh snap, there's a dragon. Anyways, good job, Benjamin. That was fantastic. Thank you for entering this week, and we'll hope to see you for the next contest. All right.
Next, we have Charlie, age 9, and this is called the Dark Tower. So as we can see, there is a dark tower in the center. We have what appears to be a moat and drawbridge going over, where we have a knight that has a mace. There's also looks like a lava serpentine dragon type creature. I like the water and the use of the curved parts alongside the regular square bricks. So he encompassed it with the curved parts to make it look more fluid than it actually is.
Yeah.
It's actually very smart building. And it's just cool that he has this giant creature, basically. I'm curious to see if this knight with the mace is here to try and save whoever's inside, or if it's being guarded by this creature. It's hard to tell, but it also looks like there's some lava. I'm assuming that that's what was utilized for the orange pieces around the tower itself. But really cool scene. Another really great build. Charlie's been back over and over again, and all his builds have been super solid.
Thanks,
so it's
Charlie.
nice to see this one as well for the Dark Ages theme. Keep building, and yeah, this was a really fun one to look into as well.
So another Charlie entry. We got AIMBOT vessel. So basically, AIMBOT was a Lego company that I started a long time ago, and he ended up picking one of my Lego brick stuff. So Charlie, that's awesome. Yeah, a pirate ship. Basically, simple build. Of course, pirates are included in Dark Ages because that's medieval, right?
Time of plundering.
Time of plundering. So very well built. He used basic bricks to illustrate all the simple shapes for the actual boat itself. You got a sail, you got mast, everything's there. So awesome second entry, Charlie. And then this one is Christopher.
Yeah, we have Christopher, age 11, USA, cut the man in half magic trick. So this is an interesting one. Can you hit the rotate button? Sure. This is an interesting one. I'm not sure. I guess it could fit. I don't know when magic like this was first introduced. So
yeah, it's a tough one.
We have some interesting pieces in here. We have this giant gray piece that is used as for the saw, I presume.
Yeah.
We have someone in a knight shielded mask who is getting cut in half. I don't know if secure transport has anything to do with the Dark Ages itself, but it's still kind of a cool scene. Definitely something different.
He's wearing a knight mask.
He's wearing a knight mask, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Awesome. But yeah, that's kind of a cool take on it. Definitely something different. Didn't expect to see this one. So
very different.
A very different build for sure. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, and I think that Christopher himself is the last one for this segment.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna end up cutting this one and we'll go into the next ones. Anything you want to say before we head out?
Well, be sure to like, subscribe, and if you guys like any of the builds that we just reviewed, let us know in the comment section down below. And as well, we'll see you guys in the next video.
Yeah, sounds good.
Bye guys.
Bye.